That was nothing short of a disaster. What's up, everybody? Today I'm in Weber County. I have 50 birds in Weber County. Again, my goal is to get 100 birds in every single county in the state of Utah within the next 3 years or so. It's gonna be a tall order because some of these counties are pretty difficult. Luckily, Weber's not one of them. So we're up near Pineview Reservoir. We're on a trail called the Wheeler Trailhead up here. It is 96 degrees, making it one of the hottest days I have ever gone birding, minus that one crazy 117-degree heat day that I went birding back in California a few weeks ago. Let's see what birds we can find. Let's see if we can bump up that list, and let's see if there's any living things out in this heat. Although it's super hot outside, we don't have the sun beating down on us. Luckily, we are pretty shaded here, and there's a river that runs across the bottom. At the moment, I've gone probably a quarter of a mile so far, and honestly have not seen one bird. So we're gonna head up here. It is hot, really hot, and I do not like the heat. Y'all know that. So we're gonna keep on walking, see what birds we can find, and hopefully we get something cool. All right, so at each of these waterfalls, I'm checking for American dipper. That would be probably one of the coolest birds that we could pick up in this canyon. But that's the fun thing about birding. You never know what you're going to find. We've walked about a mile, and I kid you not when I say I've seen a turkey vulture and a common raven fly over and nothing else. Not even, I haven't heard one bird call the entire mile that I've walked. Now, we're pretty much halfway done with this trail. I think my plan is, if I feel okay, get up to the top and sit for a little bit, wait for the temperature to cool down, and then on the way back down, try to see if we can find any birds. In the meantime, I'll just be trying to identify some plants and insects for my iNaturalist side hobby that I've got going. No birds. It's kind of weird though. There's so many trees out here, so I'm kind of shocked. There may not be a lot of birds, but there's a beautiful bridge right there. Looks pretty dope. I don't think that's the path we're going. I think we're continuing along this relatively ugly thing. That looks kind of nice right now. I chose to go the bridge route anyways. It's a lot cooler down here. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's way too thick in here. I'm not gonna be able to see. Even if there are birds, there's way too much cover. Not great for filming. I'm gonna backtrack the other way and continue on the trail I was supposed to go on. This is actually crazy. This might be the first birding trip that I've never actually gotten anything on camera, and we've gone about a mile and a half at this point. It's ridiculous. Haven't gotten skunked completely. We picked up a younger Townsend solitaire, which is a pretty cool bird, especially for you people out east. You don't have a lot of Townsend solitaires that show up, even in the Midwest, but pretty cool bird that we picked up there. Also, it's the first time it's been reported here at this hotspot, so it's always fun to find a bird that just hasn't been found at the hotspot and boost that hotspot's numbers up and help it get a more accurate representation of what birds can be found in the area. So pretty awesome bird to pick up. We're gonna keep walking on this trail, and it's still hot. I think it's cooled down a little bit. It's probably like 92, 93 degrees now, so not deadly. At least. Again, not a ton of bird action, just that one bird I've gotten on camera, a few flyovers, red-tailed hawks, turkey vulture, common raven. Let's see if we can find anything. At the end of the trail is a parking lot, meaning that with a little more research, I could have driven to this point. We're officially at a mile and a half, and we have one bird on camera, hoping on the walk back down will be a lot more productive. Picked up an American robin to add to our list for the day. This has been one of the worst birding trips I've ever taken as far as finding birds goes, which is what birding is. I'm gonna continue walking. It's cooling off. Hopefully some birds start to awaken and start to get some more stuff on camera. Things are starting to pick up a little bit. Picked up some lazuli buntings. It's been a few videos since we've seen that bird, so actually really happy to see it after this long hike. The sun is dropping, which means the temperature is also dropping. I think we could pick up some cool birds at this point. It's been torture this whole way up. On the way down, this is where we get lucky. That was nothing short of a disaster. I'm not gonna lie, that was rough. We walked a total of 3.5 miles. We were out there for 2.5 hours. Total, we saw or heard 8 species is all. And we only got 3 on camera. That's making it the worst birding trip I have ever had on this channel as far as filming goes, as far as even birding goes. That was not great. And to make it worse, usually I always say like, oh, well, enjoy the scenery around you, enjoy being outside. It was 95 degrees on that trail. I mean, you can see it. I was sweating like crazy. So there's only one solution to a day like this.
What can I get started for you?
Can I get the number 1 in a large? Thank you. So my Weber list went from 50 species to 53, which isn't great, especially because I have 29 counties to get to 100. That's unfortunate, but because this video was so slow and not a lot of birds, I'm waking up super early tomorrow to bring you one more adventure. So stay tuned. This video's not over yet. What's up, everybody? Today I am at Tibble Fork in American Fork Canyon. And this is in Utah County, where honestly, I don't need 100 species here. I already have surpassed that in this county. But I've never been birding here before, and I thought this would be a great place to take you guys. It's absolutely beautiful out here. So let's get on this hiking path and see what birds we can find. Okay, so once again, we're kind of faced with a situation where the birds are just not out, and kind of figured it out, I think. I was very spoiled May through about July because birds were up singing, they were trying to breed, so they're displaying a lot more. And I'm honestly thinking that as we get into fall, although we're still in August, and breeding season ends, a lot of these birds start to hunker down. They're a lot more difficult to see. I'm sure we'll get some stuff. I've seen a few things. Green-tailed towhee, which was pretty cool at the beginning of the trailhead. Unfortunately, wasn't quick enough to get it on camera. Let's see if we can find some stuff though. Picked up some pretty cool species. We picked up a turkey vulture, and honestly, you don't usually get to see them on the ground like this. So pretty awesome to see it perched up on the bank of Tibble Fork here. Probably the highlight of this birding trip, to be honest, at least at this point. And then on the other part of the shore, picked up spotted sandpiper as well. Again, these sandpipers like to hang out at higher elevations or lower elevations. It doesn't really matter to them, but you can find them at a lot of lakes or wherever there's water. So pretty cool to pick up those two species. Doesn't make this video completely a failure, although I really wish we would have picked up a lot more species. I'm gonna head back to my car, probably pick up 1 or 2 more species on the way, so stay tuned to see what we get. I actually didn't notice this before, but there's actually 3 turkey vultures all grounded on this little shelf of mud. So that's pretty cool. 4 turkey vultures, now that I'm looking at it, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's pretty cool. I've never seen that before. It's hard to find 1 of them grounded, but 4 of them, pretty awesome. Also picked up some mallards to add to today's list, making this one of the best videos you've probably ever seen from me. Picked up a pretty beautiful chipmunk species on camera as well. So that's pretty awesome. We're almost back to the car. Honestly, at this point, I'm just really hot, really tired after the last 2 days, especially after seeing a total of like, I don't know, 14 species in about 5 miles. So hasn't been great. Picked up a pine siskin on camera to add to our list. This actual last spot has actually been really, really good. We also picked up right after that a song sparrow as well to add to this list. Also, Turkey Vulture Island is growing. There's now 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turkey vultures on this island. It's pretty incredible. Haven't really seen that before. I've seen them, a ton of them up in the air, just not a lot of them gathered on the ground. So I don't see a carcass or anything, so it's pretty interesting to see this. I also picked up an impid. This one, it wasn't vocalizing, so it makes it extremely difficult to identify. I'll put it up on the screen. If you think you have an idea of what it is, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you pay attention to range, as that can narrow down your pool of possibilities. Also, we actually kind of finished this video on a bang. Picked up my best footage ever of a chipping sparrow. It was probably 3 feet away from me. So pretty amazing to see that bird. And right at the end of the journey as well, getting that best footage I've ever gotten of a chipping sparrow. Now, I just want to say a few things about today's adventure. In my opinion, this was probably my worst experience birding so far. And that's based off of the amount of time that I went out, probably 5-ish hours spent birding and filming this video, plus the amount of distance that I walked being around 5.5 miles. And only seeing the amount of birds that we saw, as well as only getting the amount of birds that we got on film, this has to be one of the worst birding experiences that I've ever had. That being said, there were some great moments during this birding journey, and I think that it's important to recognize that even if you have a bad day birding, there are going to be highlights and there are going to be things that are worth seeing, like that beautiful shot of that chipping sparrow that I was able to pick up, those turkey vultures hanging out on the island, that lazuli bunting yesterday going up the canyon. So just remember that while you're out birding, even if you have a bad day, there are going to be those little nuggets of sunshine. Let me know in the comments below, have you ever had a day birding like I have? Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. I hope to see you all next time on Bright Eyed Birding.